James Twin for the untouchable, true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I wanted to get my thoughts on this because this is a fight that's supposed to happen, I think, in February on the Morel-Benavidez undercard. So I wanted to get my video out on this before I forget about it because it's not going to get a lot of fanfare. It's not going to be in my face, and I might forget about it. But it is an important fight because it is a title fight, and it's going to be at the welterweight division. You're going to have Eimantas Stanonis from Lithuania, a guy that's really good. I think he's underrated. I think he's someone that has had a very unlucky career to this point. He's going to be defending his WBA title against Shakhram Giyasov from Uzbekistan, a fighter that had probably about as much hype around him coming from Uzbekistan as anybody, just as much as Merjan at one point, just as much as Madrimov at one point. Really interesting fighter. Giyasov has had fights against like Harold Calderon where he didn't look good, and I think his career so far to this point has been, for lack of a better term, forgettable and thus far underwhelming. But it's not the end of the story. We're in the middle of the story. The story is still being written fight by fight, day by day. So let's talk about this matchup, because for as unforgettable and as underwhelming as Giyasov's career has been from an opponent selection standpoint, from a performance standpoint, he hasn't lost. He's been good enough to beat the guys they put in front of him, and he got to this point. So give him that much credit. He's taking on, I think, his most physically strong opponent to date in Stanonis. Stanonis is a beast. Stanonis is a short, compact fighter. He's built like a fire hydrant. He can throw a lot of punches. He can have a high work rate, but he's also shown in the past that he can have an educated jab. He can box. He can box. He can pressure you. He's a versatile fighter, and so he's the more versatile fighter in this case for me. Now, I just did a video talking about Merjan and Inoue, and I was talking about Uzbekistan fighters and how a lot of them do fight very similar because they have a school of boxing, not a program, a school of boxing, and they're all taught to box a certain way, a proper way of boxing. And, Giyasov is probably a little different than a lot of Uzbeks only because I would say, along with Madrimov, he is the most athletic Uzbekistan fighter. He's more of the guy that I think could play other sports. He's got great agility. He's not just a technically sound fighter, but he's a above average athlete in the ring. So I think that's where he has an advantage over Stanonis. And I think for him in this fight, more than anything, the key to the victory for Giyasov is going to be his legs. His legs. Can he get his legs in camp in shape enough to set traps for Stanonis to land the big counter punches and eventually hurt him, or outbox him and outpoint him, because I think that's where he has an advantage. The Stanonis doesn't have the legs that Giyasov has, and Giyasov can, if he can exploit that, in my opinion, that's his path to victory. That's the way he's going to get the WBA title around his waist and announce himself to the world as the next world champion in boxing from Uzbekistan. So that's his key. For Stanonis, it's all about making Giyasov feel that pace. Some of these fights I've seen Giyasov in, I've noticed that he's got, and this is the case of many fighters. Some fighters have multiple gears, and when I say gears, I mean like levels of intensity. So some fighters have one gear, a steady intensity that they fight throughout the course of a 12-round fight, and then some fighters have the ability to rev up the intensity and bring it down and rev it up whenever they want to. Giyasov is not one of those guys to me. He's a guy that is more of a fighter that has one gear. I haven't really seen him fight with high intensity and change gears throughout the fight. So if there was ever a time for him to show that he isn't just a fighter with one gear, it's going to have to be this one, because I'll tell you right now, Stanonis is going to go ahead and push the pace. He's going to be looking to really take this guy to deep, dark, uncomfortable places, because Stanonis, he's had a tough career so far. Virgil Ortiz kind of ruined his year because that whole thing. Promotional stuff like a lot of fighters go through, he had that happen to him. he wants to put on a performance where people know and pay attention to who it is he is, because the welterweight division is not a highly regarded division right now. You got like Jaron Ennis not wanting to fight really anybody. You got Brian Noman not really wanting to fight anybody. You got Mario Barrios not really wanting to fight anybody. You know, it's ridiculous, this division. So I think Stanonis has a chance to really stick his flag in the ground and announce himself to the world with a dominant performance against the Uzbek Olympian here. And overall, I look at both these guys. I look at them both as fighters that have lots to prove. And when you have a fighter with lots to prove, generally speaking, you get every last bit of effort to come out of them. So I'm excited to see what both guys bring to the table. And yeah, those are just my thoughts on Giyasov versus Stanonis for the WBA title. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Giyasov? What do you guys think about Stanonis and anything I said in regards to them? Leave all that kindly or unkindly, however you want it, in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dang It. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys click right over here.
Keep watching my boy BT put on the best interviews out here.